And we need
That
more
summer
food.
at Chinatown, that's good.
More
And
food.
he's like sitting there just whooping that food, and he's like,
The whole scene.
Whatever you want.
there's these the food. I was like,
Why do we have
This is bad. This has become very, very bad.
The food is taking over.
get the Tower of Duck. Bring the Tower of Duck.
There was one shot that I thought was really interesting when you cut to when the detective goes to Toledo. There's a shot of the hotel, and superimposed over it is the American flag. I was wondering if this film, if consciously you were thinking of American culture and our
Totally a Brett
tourism
question, but
Totally
I think
a Brett
we know
question,
what
and-
say
and-
he was here.
What did he say? It's his love letter to America.
It is. That's pretty much what
I
it
think
said.
this is his love letter to America. So.
And Brett, if for those of you who aren't already Brett fans, he grew up in Middle America, as did I.
Grew
He
up in Toledo, Ohio,
Yeah.
on Middlesex Drive.
Yeah.
I believe.
And so for him, after having been away and having made a film in Australia, which is where we all met, he had come back and then gone away again, and he just sort of felt like he just saw the place differently. And then after the boys told him, this story, he just felt like, I'm going to put a stamp on it that's different than just about Feeder Gaynor. He wanted to make a thriller, and he wanted to have the subtext, which is the Christianity and the American flag, and a lot of other hidden things that are all Brett signature pieces.
I think the main thing about this picture is the catchphrase to this film, and also the catchphrase to my character is consumption is evolution. And that's the thing. Okay, like that monologue that Michael says when he's standing over Philip in the hotel room is sort of something that I think we came up with when we were writing the treatment. But that's the main thing, and
That was his underlying.
it's his underlying thing, that this world, we're just eating ourselves into, the planet's fucked. We're all fat and we're all going to die. And,
And not in a physical sense, but in a consuming the world, consuming the environment, consuming everything.
and so all those moments of the film that are quite obvious that speak for that, uprates and snaps through that.
Yes.
Have you shown this film to any people that you know are members of that Feeder Gaynor
Interesting you
subculture?
should say that.
And what was their reaction?
Yes, there have been people a part of that subculture. I always get emails. We've been in several film festivals around the world. This is the first in the U.S. But the people who've seen it in Europe originally were very skeptical and thought that we were actually out to get the subculture, which is not what the film's about at all. It's just a stepping off point.
In all the research that I did just on that, which are huge amounts, hours and months and months of research that I did, I never once saw anything between feeders and gainers other than affection. I mean, there was some stuff going on, like all the measuring, and that I sort of went, oh, guys, like it's not
And
for
there
me.
are
But I never,
tools.
there was, but that's the same.
Yeah.
I have tools.
Yeah, exactly.
At the hotel.
That's
right
it.
now. But no, that was a joke. I never saw anything but affection, and that was what was so endearing. I mean, that was the dichotomy. Like, I judged this so harshly, but then I'm watching these people love each other, and I'm like,
And there are some great scenes that have been deleted that'll be on the DVD that are great because they're Michael reading poetry and painting Deidre's nails, and they're these beautiful intimate moments, which is actually what our research was made up of. Those are the things that we found. Yeah, feeding was part of it, but that was more of like the worshiping ritual. It had nothing, the subversive elements, the second half of the film, that's entirely made up of just, people making movies. The bits about feeders and gainers that we learned were truly the more loving bits. As you see the juxtaposition of the relationships, the relationship between Michael and Deidre is the coveted one in the beginning in my book. I want to be a part of that where somebody's coming home and bringing me treats and telling me they love me, where instead of coming home and,
no woman has ever brought me 6 burgers. With 6 burgers, baby. Any more questions? Yeah, buddy.
Alright, this is kind of minor, but are we supposed to believe that he's been kind of feeding his mother to all these women one by the other?
No.
Okay.
That's interesting, though.
Because that was what I was
haven't had that
thinking.
one.
Maybe we should do another cut.
I haven't had that one yet.
No.
We usually kind of get...
No. His mother is, and
Long gone.
his mother's long gone, and
He wasn't
there's
really
been some,
psychotic,
there's been some
that's
great
all.
reviews. What was that arrow in the head? Wasn't it? If I read it, if I see another psycho film and the mother's involved, and no, but
But this was actually a piss take on that. Because,
Yeah.
it was like, Brett was like, let's do it. The writer's like, let's not do it. And then Alex was like, well, let's do it, but let's take the piss out of the fact that
Right.
people do say, oh, it's the mother. And he's like, well, it's not the mother, but it is the mother, but it's not the mother. I'm actually conscious of what I'm doing.
Right.
So that was Alex's.
But no.
No eating of mummy.
Yes.
I thought that there were a lot of elements of sort of very, very, very black humor in the film.
Oh,
Were
absolutely.
those intentional?
Absolutely.
Welcome to Australia.
Yeah, Australia is all about black. As soon as something gets too serious, it's like, ooh.
It was really interesting actually because I'd never seen it with an audience, right? And hearing where you guys were laughing, I was like, oh. And a lot of them were things I was going, we can't put that in. We can't do it. And,
They won't get it.
They won't. No, not that they won't get it. No, just that it won't be funny. It'll be inappropriate. We'll be in more trouble than we already are going to be in. So all my life, I've found myself in cinemas watching films and going, "Wah!" You know, and so I think there's a lot of that things that we think as filmmakers are funny, and why things. I mean, comedy was born from tragedy, right? And like I'm always laughing and going, oh, that's really bad. I shouldn't be laughing. And we all are, you know. And so I think some of them were kind of experimental as well.
Yeah. But Gabby, like I said, she's a comedic actress, so a lot of those laughs come from her and their interaction and playing off of each other. And they worked so well together. It was a really strong point of the film.
Yes, we became very close.
Anyone else over there? I thought I saw him. Yes.
Yes.
I really like the movie. What was with the spin jump off the roof?
Did you like that? That was my stuff.
He did it live. I have to say,
What was with it? You didn't like it?
Yeah, it kind of took me out of it for a second. Was there any reason? It just felt
Well, he had to get out of there.
there was no other way out of the room.
He actually is part machine.
I
No.
like what you have to say though, because as a producer, he came because that wasn't in the script. But when we got to the location, there was no way out of the room for the chase, except for over the thing.
'Cause that
And
was
he and
like
Brett
upstairs
come to
room,
me,
right?
and I'm like,
On the balcony.
"Have you lost your mind? Have we got to wake the shooting
Because
up?"
we
I said, "If
go-
I lose him,
Brett
the
and
film's over."
Brett and I are like, how are we going to solve this? He's got to get out, and he can't go through the balcony, and there's all the film gear here anyway. And I looked at Brett and I said, dude, I'll just jump off. And he goes, fuck yeah. And we lean over, and it was really high.
It was really
probably about as high as the
high.
roof. It was high.
Definitely as high as those gray tiles.
It was as high as the roof, Mel.
It was
Camera.
high.
It was high as
It
the
was
roof.
scary.
It was high, and we looked over and we looked at each other and went, for sure. That's a really good idea. And Mel came and we
And I said, "I don't have any money for a stunt guy, and I can't lose the actor. Forget it."
and we said, don't worry, it'll be okay.
And he just looked at me in the Alex way. He's like, "Mel, I can do it.
So,
And so we got safety in, and there was the appropriate safety gear, but he did do the stunt himself. And I stood at the bottom and bit all my nails off and go, "If you get hurt, I'm going to kill you when you land."
I did.